Hey guys, it's Justine from Just Plans. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have another how-to video. We are going to be making these minimal habit tracker stickers that you can customize with whatever habits that you want to track. And the minimal look of this sticker is perfect for functional planning. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing how to do this, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is open up Silhouette Studio, and then I am just going to zoom in here. I'm going to first make the outline of our habit tracker and make the outline of it black. I'm going to just do that now so that we don't get confused with cut lines later. And I'm going to change the dimensions to 2 inch by 1 inch. This is just kind of the size that I have in mind for my particular sticker. And for my planner, but of course, just base that off of the planner that you plan on using. Okay, so I'm going to start off with making the columns. We do want 8, 7 for the days of the week, and then 1 column on the left-hand side to add in the names of the habits. So I'm just making a vertical line that's 1 inch in height because that's the height of our box here. And then I'm going to make enough for all the columns that we have. I am going to just reposition them here. This rightmost line, I am going to align that with the right hand side of the box, and then I'm going to place this right about here. That's, I think, enough space for the text of the habits. And then as you can see, I spaced them horizontally so that we can get even spacing for the columns for the days of the week. And we do have 7 here. So now I'm going to take all of these and align them to the top of the box. And that's basically the columns of our habit tracker. Now we're going to move on to the rows. I'm going to make a horizontal line that's 2 inches in width because again, that's the width of our habit tracker. I'm gonna take this line. I want to track 4 different habits and then have 1 row for the headers. So I need 4 rows. Again, I'm going to use the replicate function to make enough lines. I'm going to take 1 line and align that to the top of the box. And then I'm going to take 1 line and align that with the bottom of the box. And similar to the rows, I'm just doing that so that we can evenly space these. This time I'm going to do that vertically. And then here I'm going to select the middle 4 lines and align them to the left of the box. And you can see that the top and the bottom line were just used to vertically space correctly. So I've deleted those, and then I've also deleted that one vertical line on the right hand side, which was also used to vertically space the columns correctly. Okay, so now I took the outer outline of the habit tracker and created an offset. This offset is just going to be used, hold on, I'm just going to zoom in here. So I created 2 offsets. The outermost offset is going to be our color bleed line. And then the inner offset is gonna be our cut line. So I've changed that to red. So here again is our color bleed line. So I'm gonna make the outline clear, and then I'm gonna change the fill color to whatever I want. I'm going to select this pink color. And there we go. This is the general outline of our habit tracker. So now I'm just gonna add the days of the week and the habits. So just taking the text function and picking the size and color and font that I want to use for the days of the week. So while I do that, please know that this is entirely customizable. This is just how I wanted to set up my habit tracker for today, but there's so many things that you can do with respect to like the colors, the size, the fonts, how many habits you want to track, and all of that. So it's honestly, for me, it's so much fun to play around with this, and it really helps me like get my creative juices flowing and all that. And just a little FYI to all of you that Silhouette Studio, as well as the Cricut software, I forget like what that app is called, but both of those are available free to anyone, regardless of if you have a cutting machine. So at least for me, I know when I was trying to decide between Silhouette and Cricut, it was really, really helpful for me to use those design softwares to try to decide which one was better for me. And ultimately, I decided, of course, on the Silhouette. So anyway, here I am just adding in the habits that I want to track. I do want to track first yoga and meditation, and then I want to track taking my medicine every day, my collagen supplement, and then I also want to try to journal. I don't know if that's going to work, but let's just see. The whole point is to track this, right? Okay, so anyway, this is the finished habit tracker for now. Before we move forward with replication, I do want to just check the cut lines. So going into the send and then the line tab, I am just going to make sure that only the red line is set to cut. So I've deselected the black line, and if we zoom in here, you will see that the only thing that is basically bolded in this screen is the red line. That means that only the red line here is set to cut. So that's exactly what we want. So good thing we did that right, guys. So now we're just going to zoom out. All we're going to do is just replicate this to fill up the entire page, both horizontally and then vertically. And also, just another thing is, since these are just habit trackers, they're literally just rectangles, you can design this in Silhouette Studio and then print it and cut by hand. Like, you really don't need a cutting machine for something like this. So and I mean, you can even probably do the same exact thing in Word, but for me, I have, anyway. So it's just gonna take me a little bit of time to get this all spaced out exactly how I want it. Just a little tip if you are using a Silhouette is that you don't want to print too close to the registration marks. That can kind of confuse your machine. So here at the bottom, I do think I'm a little too close to the registration marks. I am moving everything up a little bit. So yeah. Um, And so here we go. We are just going to print this onto sticker paper. If you don't have sticker paper, you can always just use regular paper and then like an adhesive tape. Just of course be mindful of your settings. Okay, so here are the habit trackers printed out. You'll see that the grid lines for the habit tracker table did not print, and that's because I fucked up. I will show you how to fix that later on, but just for the purposes of the video, I didn't print out another one. So anyway, I am just putting this onto my Silhouette cutting mat, and then I am securing it with this Simply Gilded washi. That's just because I've had my cutting mat for a while and it's not as adhesive as it once was. So this just helps the paper to stay laying flat when I go to put this into the Silhouette. So here is my Silhouette. I hope you love the great, camera angle here. So I was trying to do this one-handed, so it was pretty difficult for me, okay? Give me some credit. Okay, so you put the cutting mat into the Silhouette and you press the forward button to feed that into the machine. And then we're just gonna go back into the software and send to our Silhouette so that we can cut. Okay, we're done cutting. We just press this down arrow to take the paper and cutting mat out of the machine. And before we move on to the big reveal, I'm gonna show you how to fix my fuck up. So these lines or the grid of the table didn't print because it didn't have a thickness. So you just want to select all of these lines and give it a thickness. I'm just gonna give it 0.25 points. But you can make this as thick or as thin as you want. So yeah. So do this once and then just do the replication again so that you don't have to change the thickness of all the lines of all those habit trackers. So anyway, here is the final product. We are just going to take this off of the cutting mat, and just a little tip is you want to bend the cutting mat, not the sticker paper, because that's when you get like curvy sticker paper and it's like impossible and it'll get it to lay flat again. So yeah, just gonna put the washi back onto my cutting mat. Yes, my cutting mat is dirty. That's just what happens. It's adhesive and it's basically a lint attracker. So sorry if that bothers you. I mean, what can you do? But after you use your cutting mat, you do want to just put that protective paper on it. But yeah, here is the final product. Here's my habit tracker sticker. Here's my planner. And here's me putting the habit tracker into my planner. Woo! If you if you enjoyed this tutorial, please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.